In the quiet neighborhood of Georgetown, actress Chris McNeil lives with her 12-year-old daughter, Regan, while shooting her latest film. Their life is simple and warm, filled with laughter, school routines, and a close mother-daughter friendship. Chris notices small changes at first: strange noises in the attic, furniture shifting slightly, and cold pockets of air. She assumes it is rats or old house creaks, nothing more. But Regan begins acting differently, telling her mother about an imaginary friend she calls Captain Howdy, who talks to her through a Ouija board. Chris is entertained at first, but the idea becomes unsettling when Regan's behavior begins to shift from playful to unnerving. Soon Regan develops sudden mood swings, speaking in ways she never had before. She becomes aggressive and unpredictable, saying disturbing and violent things that no child should know. Doctors examine her thoroughly, suspecting neurological issues, but no test reveals anything. The medical community becomes increasingly confused as her condition worsens. Regan's body contorts in impossible ways. She demonstrates unnatural strength, throws furniture across the room, and screams in languages she has never learned. Chris becomes desperate as the girl she once knew disappears behind terrifying episodes, leaving behind a stranger with hollow, angry eyes. Meanwhile, Father Karras, a Jesuit psychiatrist and priest, struggles with his own crisis of faith. His mother has recently died in poverty, and he blames himself for being unable to help her. He feels emotionally drained, questioning his purpose and spiritual conviction. When Chris approaches him for help, he is skeptical. He suggests more tests and psychiatric treatment, believing Regan's condition might be psychological. But when he visits the McNeil home, the darkness inside the girl becomes impossible to deny. Regan levitates, speaks in multiple voices, mocks Karras with details about his deceased mother, and displays knowledge no child could possess. He becomes convinced something beyond science is tormenting her. As Regan's condition reaches a horrifying peak, Karras requests permission from the church to perform an exorcism. They assign Father Merrin, a seasoned exorcist with decades of experience confronting demonic entities. Merrin arrives quietly, carrying a weathered bag containing rituals and a strong resolve. The moment he enters Regan's room, the temperature drops drastically. The demon recognizes him instantly, mocking him with guttural laughter and cruel taunts. Merrin remains calm, opening his prayer book as the battle begins. The exorcism becomes a brutal confrontation between faith and darkness. Regan convulses violently, her bed shaking under her. The demon's voice echoes through the room, switching between languages and personalities. It insults, threatens, and attempts to break the priests emotionally. Objects fly around the room, holy water sizzles on her skin, and the demon screams with rage as the priests pray harder. Karras struggles emotionally, while Merrin remains focused, knowing the demon's strategy is to weaken the mind, not the body. Hours of relentless prayer exhaust both priests. Merrin eventually asks Karras to take a break while he continues alone. When Karras returns later, he finds Merrin collapsed on the floor, having died from the overwhelming strain and stress. Karras is devastated, believing he has failed yet again. Regan sits on the bed, demonically smiling. In a moment of raw anger and desperation, Karras lunges at the girl and pleads with the demon to take him instead. The demon seizes the opportunity and enters his body. With the last fragments of control he has left, Karras throws himself out the window, sacrificing his life to save Regan. Regan is freed at last, unaware of the horrors she endured. Chris takes her away from the house, determined to rebuild their lives. The church acknowledges Karras' sacrifice as an act of ultimate courage, while the community tries to forget the unspeakable events that took place in that quiet Georgetown home. The lingering feeling remains that evil does not die, it only waits for another moment of weakness. But for now, Regan is safe, her innocence restored, while the memory of Father Karras' sacrifice becomes a silent prayer that continues long after the story ends.